After the arrest of Prince Derek, the palace slowly returned to a calm state. Jake noticed that life began to feel slightly more comfortable, but he could still sense tension beneath the surface. Many were shocked and saddened by the betrayal, and whispers filled the halls as the royal family tried to move forward from the troubling events. Jake and Zara became closer during this challenging time. They often spoke quietly in the palace gardens, sharing thoughts about the future. Jake found himself enjoying Zara's company more each day, discovering her warmth beneath the once cold exterior. One sunny afternoon, Zara walked with Jake through the beautiful palace gardens. The gentle breeze carried the scent of blooming flowers, and colorful birds sang softly around them. Zara seemed thoughtful, occasionally glancing at Jake with a curious look in her silver eyes. "Jake," Zara said, suddenly breaking the peaceful silence, "do you ever miss your home?" Jake stopped walking, thinking deeply before answering. "Sometimes, yes. I miss the simple things. Friends, family, familiar places. But this place is starting to feel a bit more like home, too." Zara looked relieved by his words. "I'm glad you feel that way. It means a lot to me." Jake smiled warmly. "How about you, Zara? What are your hopes for the future?" Zara took a deep breath, her eyes filled with determination. "I want to change things here. My people deserve better. I want to make our society kinder, fairer, and more open to new ideas." Jake admired her passion, feeling proud to stand beside her. "That's a beautiful vision. I'd love to help you achieve it." Zara glanced at Jake, smiling softly. "I was hoping you'd say that." Over the following weeks, Jake and Zara began working together to create new programs and initiatives within the kingdom. They met with advisors, spoke to the citizens, and discussed their ideas openly with King Taller, who fully supported their efforts. One day, Jake suggested creating a new school system to help educate younger generations about different cultures, including humans. Zara enthusiastically agreed, believing it could build a stronger alliance between their peoples. Together, they visited many parts of the kingdom, speaking to ordinary citizens and hearing their concerns. Jake was impressed by Zara's genuine care for her people and her eagerness to listen. Her interactions revealed a side of her he had never fully seen before, one filled with kindness, compassion, and humility. As they traveled, Jake also began to see more of the stunning alien world he now called home. Lush forests, towering mountains, and vast lakes stretched before him, each sight more breathtaking than the last. He felt deeply grateful for the chance to experience such beauty, especially with Zara by his side. One evening, after returning from their journey, Jake and Zara were invited to a large banquet hosted by King Taller. The banquet hall was richly decorated, filled with guests from many worlds who had gathered to celebrate the new changes Zara was implementing. During the banquet, Zara stood to speak, her voice confident and clear. "Today, we celebrate the beginning of a new era for our people. We must learn from the past and move forward with open hearts and minds. Our alliance with humanity shows that we are stronger together." But guests applauded enthusiastically, and Jake felt pride swell in his chest as he watched Zara. She had grown into a true leader, respected and admired by many. After Zara's speech, Jake found her standing alone on a balcony, gazing at the stars. He joined her quietly, noticing a gentle smile on her face. "You spoke beautifully," Jake said softly. Zara turned to him, eyes shining with happiness. "Thank you, Jake. It means everything to have you here. You've made all of this possible." Jake shook his head modestly. "You are the one inspiring your people, Zara. I'm just happy to support you." Zara reached out gently, taking Jake's hand. "We make a good team." Jake's heart beat faster at her touch. "Yes, we do." They stood silently together, looking up at the stars and sharing the moment. Jake realized he had begun to truly care for Zara, feeling emotions he had never expected to experience when he first arrived. It was clear that Zara felt something similar. As she moved closer, her presence comforting and warm. As days turned into weeks, their relationship deepened. They continued to work together, introducing many successful changes in the kingdom. Citizens became happier, more open-minded, and more hopeful about the future. One morning, Zara approached Jake with exciting news. "Jake, our education plan has been approved. Schools will open soon, teaching our children about humans and other cultures." Jake smiled broadly, feeling genuine joy. "That's wonderful, Zara. Imagine the opportunities this will create." Zara nodded, her expression full of excitement. "It's just the start. With you beside me, I know we can achieve even more." Jake felt warmth spread through him again, knowing that he had found a true partner in Zara. They worked tirelessly together, sharing laughter, challenges, and successes. It became clear to everyone around them that their bond was no longer merely political. It had grown into true affection and mutual respect. One quiet evening, Jake and Zara returned to the gardens where their friendship had first blossomed. As they walked hand in hand, Jake stopped, turning to Zara with sincerity in his eyes. "Zara, being here with you has changed my life in ways I never imagined. I came here feeling lost and uncertain, but now this place feels like home, and it's because of you." Zara squeezed his hand gently, her eyes filled with emotion. "Jake, you have changed me too. I never thought I could feel this connected to someone. You've taught me about courage, compassion, and what it truly means to love." Jake felt deeply moved, gently brushing his fingers across her cheek. "You are incredible, Zara. I never want to lose this." "Neither do I," Zara whispered softly, stepping closer. As their faces drew nearer, Jake felt his heart racing. They shared a gentle, heartfelt kiss beneath the soft glow of the evening sky. It was a promise of their shared future, a future full of hope, happiness, and endless possibilities. Jake awoke in the medical wing of the palace, the bright ceiling lights making him squint. His side felt sore, and a gentle throbbing reminded him of the events that had occurred. As his vision adjusted, he noticed Zara sitting quietly beside his bed, looking down at her hands with an expression he couldn't quite read. "Princess Zara?" Jake said softly, drawing her attention. Zara quickly raised her eyes, seeming surprised that he had awakened. She hesitated briefly before speaking. "Jake, I wanted to thank you again. Your bravery saved my life." Jake tried to smile, ignoring the discomfort in his side. "I just did what anyone would have done." Zara shook her head slowly. "No, Jake, many would have chosen their own safety first. Your actions showed true courage and honor." Jake felt warmth spread through him, both from her words and from the sincerity he saw in her eyes. For the first time since arriving on the alien planet, he felt truly appreciated. "Zara," Jake began hesitantly, "can you tell me who attacked us?" She sighed deeply, her expression turning serious again. "They are from the Krell, a rival alien empire. They have long wanted control of our territories and resources. I did not think they would dare strike here, at the heart of our home." Jake frowned thoughtfully. "Why target you specifically?" "Because I'm now next in line to the throne," Zara replied, her voice quiet and strained. "With my marriage to you, our alliance with humanity has grown stronger. That threatens them greatly." Jake watched her closely, noticing how tense she seemed. He realized that beneath her calm and composed exterior, Zara was deeply affected by the attack. "You must be careful, Zara," Jake said softly. "We can't let them succeed." She gave him a slight nod, her expression softening again. "Together, Jake, we might be able to prevent further trouble. But first, you must recover." Over the next few days, Jake healed quickly under the attentive care of the palace doctors. Zara visited often, each time seeming a little warmer and more relaxed around him. Their conversations slowly moved from formal exchanges to comfortable discussions about their lives and dreams. Jake learned that Zara was deeply passionate about improving the lives of her people, and she listened intently as he shared his hopes for a peaceful future among the stars. When Jake finally returned to his room, he found Zara waiting for him by the window. The setting sun bathed her in a soft golden glow, making her appear even more beautiful than usual. "Jake, Zara said softly. Turning to face him, I must share something important with you. Jake walked closer, sensing her seriousness. I'm listening. Zara looked away briefly, gathering her thoughts. I have discovered a troubling secret. Someone in my family may have helped the Krell plan the attack. Jake felt a chill run through him. Who do you suspect? Zara hesitated, sadness evident in her eyes. My brother, Prince Derek. He has always desired the throne and resented our alliance with humans. Jake reached out, gently taking her hand in reassurance. We will uncover the truth, Zara. Together, we will protect your people. Zara squeezed his hand lightly, a small smile forming. Thank you, Jake. Having your support means more to me than you know. They decided to discreetly investigate Prince Derek. Jake spoke to the palace servants, gathering subtle hints and pieces of information, while Zara cautiously searched Derek's chambers when he was away. One evening, Zara found a hidden message. In Derek's room, a coded letter that clearly linked him to the Krell. Disturbed and saddened, Zara immediately showed Jake the letter. This is serious, Jake said grimly, examining the message. We need to take this evidence to your father, King Taller. Zara shook her head sadly. My father may not easily accept that his own son could betray him. We need more proof before we confront him. Jake agreed reluctantly, knowing she was right. They continued to gather evidence quietly, aware that any mistake could endanger them both. Days passed, and tensions within the palace increased. Derek became more suspicious, watching Jake and Zara closely. They knew they had to act quickly before he discovered their intentions. One night, as Jake reviewed their findings alone in his chamber, he heard footsteps outside the door. He quickly hid the evidence, heart racing, just as the door opened to reveal Prince Derek standing there, his expression dark and menacing. Jake Allen, Derek said coldly, stepping into the room and closing the door behind him. You have been causing trouble. Jake stood his ground, trying to remain calm. I'm not sure what you mean, Prince Derek. Derek sneered, stepping closer. Do not play games with me. I know you and my sister have been spying on me. You should have stayed out of affairs that do not concern you. This involves Zara, Jake replied firmly, refusing to back down. It concerns me greatly. Derek moved swiftly, grabbing Jake roughly by the arm. You humans think you can interfere with our matters. I will make sure you regret your actions. Jake struggled, breaking free from Derek's grasp and stepping back. The truth will come out, Derek. You can't hide forever. Derek laughed coldly, his eyes filled with anger. No one will believe you or Zara. My father trusts me completely. You have sealed your own fate. He stormed from the room, leaving Jake shaken but determined. Jake quickly went to find Zara, finding her pacing anxiously in her chamber. Jake! She gasped in relief, rushing to him. Derek confronted me too. He knows everything. Jake took Zara's hand, trying to comfort her. We must act now. We have enough evidence. We have to confront your father tonight. Zara nodded bravely, though fear was clear in her eyes. You are right. My father must know the truth. Together, they hurried to King Taller's private chambers. The king, surprised by their sudden appearance, listened carefully as Zara and Jake presented their evidence. At first, he seemed unwilling to believe them, shaking his head in disbelief. Father, Zara pleaded earnestly, her voice full of emotion, you must believe us. Jake risked his life to save me once. He would not lie now. King Taller looked deeply into his daughter's eyes, slowly realizing the truth. He finally nodded, sadness filling his expression. I will have Derek brought here immediately. When Derek arrived, confronted with undeniable proof, he could no longer deny his betrayal. Guards quickly took him away, and the king embraced Zara tenderly. You have shown true wisdom and bravery, King Taller said proudly. Both of you have saved our empire from disaster. Jake felt a profound relief and happiness, knowing that Zara was safe and that the immediate danger had passed. Zara turned to Jake, smiling warmly, her eyes filled with gratitude and growing affection. "Thank you, Jake," she whispered softly. "I could never have done this without you." Jake squeezed her hand gently, knowing that the bond they had formed through adversity was stronger than either of them had expected. Together, they would face whatever the future held, united by trust and a newfound hope. Jake woke up the next morning feeling tired and unsure. The room he had been given was large, decorated with beautiful yet unfamiliar objects. Sunlight streamed through tall windows, revealing a landscape outside unlike anything he had ever seen. The sky was a soft violet color, and tall, crystal-like structures stretched towards the clouds. Everything felt strange and distant, adding to his sense of loneliness. He sat up slowly, rubbing his eyes. Memories of the previous day flooded back, reminding him of his new reality as the husband of Princess Zara. Although they were married officially, their bond remained nothing more than a political arrangement. Jake sighed deeply, wondering if he could ever become comfortable in this alien world. A soft knock at the door made him jump slightly. "Come in," Jake called, trying to sound confident despite how uncertain he felt. The door opened quietly, and a young alien woman stepped inside. She had pale green skin and gentle eyes. Her presence was calming, and Jake felt a little better just looking at her. "Good morning, sir," she said softly, her voice warm and kind. "My name is Lyra. I will be helping you get settled." Jake gave her a small smile. "Thank you, Lyra. Please call me Jake." Lyra nodded and smiled back. "Very well, Jake. Princess Zara asked me to help you understand our customs. She thought you might feel lost." Jake raised an eyebrow in surprise. It was hard for him to believe that Zara had thought about his feelings. She had seemed so distant and cold the day before. "Thank you," Jake said again, this time sincerely. "I could really use your help. Everything here is so new and strange to me." Lyra stepped closer, offering Jake a small device. "This will help you understand our language better. It translates directly into your ear." Jake accepted the device gratefully, fitting it comfortably into his ear. Almost immediately, he felt more at ease, knowing he could now better understand those around him. Throughout the morning, Lyra patiently guided Jake through various aspects of life on this alien planet. She explained their traditions, their ways of speaking, and the things he should avoid saying or doing. Jake listened carefully, eager to learn and avoid any embarrassing mistakes. Later, Jake was invited to join a meeting with several important members of Zara's family. He dressed in the clothes Lyra provided, feeling awkward but determined to make a good impression. As he entered the grand meeting room, Jake saw Zara seated at the far end of a long table, surrounded by her older siblings and advisors. Zara glanced briefly at Jake but quickly turned away, her expression unreadable. "Welcome, Jake." An older alien male greeted him kindly. "I am King Towler, Zara's father. Please have a seat." Jake bowed respectfully, taking a seat next to Zara. She still refused to look at him, focusing instead on a small device in her hand. The meeting was difficult for Jake. Everyone spoke quickly, discussing important matters of state and alliances he knew nothing about. He felt lost again, struggling to keep up. Occasionally, Zara would glance at him with slight annoyance, making him feel even more self-conscious. Finally, the meeting ended, and Jake breathed a quiet sigh of relief. Zara rose swiftly and exited the room without speaking a word to him. Feeling frustrated, Jake left the room and wandered the corridors alone, trying to clear his head. He eventually found his way to a beautiful garden, filled with exotic plants and bright flowers. The air was sweet, calming his nerves slightly. "Jake?" a voice called gently from behind him. He turned to see Lyra standing nearby, a worried look on her face. "Are you all right?" Jake shook his head sadly. "I just feel so out of place. Zara clearly wants nothing to do with me. I don't know how I'm supposed to live here." Lyra approached and sat beside him on a stone bench. Princess Zara has always struggled with expressing herself. She carries many responsibilities and fears disappointing her family. Perhaps she needs time. Jake sighed, looking at the bright flowers around them. Maybe you're right, but it's hard to imagine us ever understanding each other. As the days passed, Jake began to feel slightly more comfortable. Lyra continued to guide him, helping him adjust to his new environment. Zara remained distant, speaking to him only when necessary. Jake started to believe she would never change. Then one evening, a sudden loud alarm rang throughout the palace. Jake rushed into the hallway, heart pounding with fear and confusion. Guards ran past him, shouting orders he could barely understand. "Jake!" He heard Lyra's urgent voice. "It's an attack! Come quickly!" She led him through winding halls until they reached Zara's chamber. They burst inside to find Zara surrounded by enemies from another alien race. Without thinking, Jake charged forward, pulling Zara to safety just as a weapon fired at her. He felt a sharp pain but managed to keep moving until guards arrived to protect him. "Jake!" Zara gasped, looking at him in shock. "You're hurt." He looked down, noticing a small injury on his side. It stung, but it was not serious. Zara's eyes filled with genuine concern, surprising Jake greatly. "Why did you risk yourself for me?" she asked softly, clearly moved. Jake managed a small smile despite the pain. "Because we're partners, Zara, even if you don't feel that way yet." For the first time, Zara looked directly into his eyes with warmth. "I think I might have been wrong about you, Jake Allen." Jake felt his heart lighten at her words. Perhaps there was hope for them after all. Jake Allen stood quietly in the grand hall of the massive starship, his heart beating fast with anxiety. He had never expected his life would take such an unusual and sudden turn. Around him, beings from various alien races murmured softly, their strange voices blending together in a low hum. Bright lights flickered along the walls, reflecting off polished metal and illuminating intricate patterns etched into the ship's surfaces. Today was supposed to be a celebration of peace, marking a historic agreement between humans and the powerful Xelanaga Empire. Jake had been assigned to this diplomatic mission as a humble engineer, tasked only with maintaining the ship's critical systems. He had no experience or desire for politics or royal matters. Yet somehow, he now found himself at the center of a political arrangement that would bind him forever to a stranger Princess Zara, the youngest daughter of the Xelanaga royal family. Jake glanced nervously toward the large ornate door on the opposite side of the hall, wondering when Zara would arrive. He had heard little about her, except whispers among the crew that painted her as cold and distant, even by alien standards. Jake's stomach tightened as he imagined spending the rest of his life with someone he knew nothing about, and who likely cared nothing for him. Beside him stood Ambassador Linda Carter, an older woman known for her calm nature and diplomatic wisdom. Linda noticed Jake's discomfort and placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Jake," she said softly, "I understand how strange this must be for you. Remember, this marriage is important for peace. You are doing something brave and noble." Jake gave a small nod, but the reassurance did little to ease his nerves. He had always imagined marrying for love, not for diplomacy. The thought of sharing his life with an alien princess filled him with unease. He had dreamed of a quiet life, back on Earth, not this complicated arrangement among stars and empires. Suddenly, a loud chime echoed throughout the hall, signaling the princess's arrival. The murmurs stopped, and everyone turned toward the grand entrance. Jake took a deep breath, trying to steady himself as the heavy doors slowly swung open. Princess Zara stepped into the hall, and Jake immediately felt his anxiety spike. Zara was striking, her appearance both beautiful and intimidating. Her skin was a delicate shade of pale blue, her large silver eyes sharp and observant. She wore a flowing white gown with shimmering jewels woven into the fabric, emphasizing her regal bearing. As she moved gracefully toward Jake, her expression was unreadable, showing no sign of warmth or welcome. Jake swallowed hard, forcing himself to remain composed. He could feel the eyes of countless aliens and humans watching him closely, waiting to see how he would handle this first encounter. Zara stopped in front of Jake, studying him quietly for a long moment. Then she extended her delicate hand toward him, as was custom in both their cultures. Jake hesitated only briefly before gently taking her hand, feeling the coolness of her skin against his palm. Their eyes met, and for a brief moment Jake thought. He saw a flicker of curiosity behind her guarded gaze. "Human Jake Allen," Zara spoke softly, her voice smooth and melodic. "We are now united in purpose, though not by choice. I expect that you will fulfill your duties with honor." Jake nodded slowly, trying to match her calm demeanor. "Princess Zara, I promise to do my best." Zara released his hand and turned toward the assembled crowd. Her voice rang out clearly and confidently, addressing the many beings gathered in the hall. "Today marks a new chapter between our peoples," Zara declared. "Though this union is not born of affection, let it be strengthened by respect and shared purpose. Let our actions from this day forward prove that peace is possible even in unlikely circumstances." The audience erupted into applause, and Jake felt a wave of relief that at least the official introduction was over. However, his relief was short-lived as Zara moved closer and whispered quietly, her tone noticeably cooler. "Do not misunderstand this arrangement, human. Our bond is strictly political. I do not seek your friendship or affection, only your cooperation." Jake nodded slowly, feeling a pang of disappointment, though he hadn't expected anything different. "Understood, Princess." As the applause faded, Ambassador Linda approached them, smiling warmly as she tried to ease the tension. "Princess Zara, Jake, the banquet will begin shortly. Perhaps it will provide a good opportunity for the two of you to become better acquainted." Zara gave a slight nod, though her expression remained impassive. "I suppose we must maintain appearances." "Ambassador." Jake followed silently as Zara led the way toward the dining area. He noticed the precision in her movements, the pride in her posture, and wondered briefly about the true personality behind her carefully constructed facade. He had a feeling that, beneath her cold exterior, there might be something more, perhaps a vulnerability similar to his own. During the banquet, Zara maintained her distance, speaking little and offering only polite responses when addressed. Jake observed her quietly, noticing how carefully she controlled every gesture, every word. He couldn't help but feel a growing curiosity about this alien princess who seemed as trapped by circumstance as he was. After the feast, Jake found himself standing alone on an observation deck, staring out at the endless expanse of stars. He tried to imagine his future, living on a distant alien world, bound forever to a princess who clearly wanted nothing to do with him. "Jake," a gentle voice said from behind him. Jake turned and saw Ambassador Linda approaching, her face full of understanding. "Ambassador," he sighed, "I feel completely lost." Linda smiled kindly. "I know, Jake, but sometimes fate chooses a path for us. Zara may seem cold now, but remember, this is new for her too. Give her time, and perhaps things will change." Jake nodded slowly, hoping Linda was right. Yet, as he looked back toward the stars, he felt uncertain about the future. Little did he know that everything was indeed about to change in ways he never imagined, challenging his heart, courage, and understanding of the universe itself. As the days passed, John Carter continued his important work in the Zilarian Palace, deeply committed to promoting unity and harmony between the two worlds. Queen Alara stood proudly by his side, offering guidance and support. Together they made sure that Zilarians and humans learned to respect and appreciate each other's traditions. However, not everyone was happy with their growing influence. Unseen forces still worked secretly, wanting to disrupt the newfound peace. One evening, a Zilarian guard urgently approached John, clearly distressed. "Sir John," he said quickly, looking worried, "we've discovered plans against you and the Queen. It seems some individuals still oppose your unity." John felt his heart tighten at the news, yet he kept his composure. "Tell me everything you know." The guard explained that Lord Kalen, although publicly reconciled, secretly still opposed John and Queen Alara. He had quietly gathered a group of unhappy nobles who wanted to remove John and reverse the changes made in Zelaria. John immediately informed Alara of the plot, deeply concerned about their safety and that of Prince Liner. Alara listened calmly, her expression resolute. "We must face this directly," she decided firmly. "We need to show our people we will not be intimidated." John agreed fully, trusting Alara's wisdom. Together, they planned a gathering for all the nobles and citizens, determined to address the issue openly and courageously. On the day of the gathering, the palace courtyard was filled with people eager and anxious to hear from their leaders. John stood beside Alara, holding Liner protectively. When the crowd quieted, Queen Alara stepped forward confidently. "My friends," she began clearly, "we have gathered today because our unity and peace are once again being tested. It is known that some among us still hold doubts. Lord Kalen, please step forward." The crowd whispered nervously as Lord Kalen reluctantly stepped into view, clearly surprised to be called out openly. Alara spoke gently yet firmly, addressing him directly. "Lord Kalen, we understand your concerns, but this division must end now. Our people deserve peace, not constant fear and suspicion." Lord Kalen stood silent, visibly conflicted. Finally, he spoke with quiet defiance. "Your Majesty, my concerns are for Zelaria. Humans cannot be trusted." John stepped forward calmly, addressing both Kalen and the crowd openly. "Lord Kalen, trust is built by actions. My actions have always been to serve and protect. My loyalty lies with Zelaria, its queen, and its people." From the crowd, Lady Seraphina also spoke up, supporting John strongly. "John Carter has proven his dedication and courage repeatedly. We owe him our gratitude, not suspicion." Several others began voicing their agreement, strengthening John's position. Lord Kalen looked around, realizing he was quickly losing support. "Lord Kalen," Alara continued firmly, "you must decide. Will you continue to spread doubt and fear, or will you join us in strengthening Zelaria through unity?" Kalen hesitated for a moment, considering carefully. Slowly, he bowed his head in reluctant acceptance. "Forgive my stubbornness, Your Majesty. Perhaps it is time to accept the changes that have come." The crowd cheered loudly, relieved by his decision. Alara smiled warmly, stepping closer to John, their unity visible to all. "Thank you, Lord Kalen," Alara said graciously. "Your support means much to our people." Following the public gathering, peace settled deeper into Zelaria. John continued his dedicated work, helping the community grow closer together. With each passing day, trust between humans and Zelarians became stronger, creating a harmonious atmosphere throughout the Empire. One evening, after a long day of work, John and Alara sat quietly in the garden, Prince Liner sleeping peacefully. Nearby, the stars above sparkled gently, creating a sense of calm. "John," Alara began softly, taking his hand gently, "you have changed everything here for the better." "We changed it together," John replied warmly, squeezing her hand gently. "None of this would have happened without your strength and leadership." Alara smiled softly, looking deeply into his eyes. "Together, we have shown everyone what unity can achieve. I'm proud to stand with you." Their peaceful moment was interrupted when a guard approached quickly, urgency clear on his face. "Your Majesty, Sir John," the guard announced anxiously. "There is news from the northern region. Another crisis has emerged. An unexpected rebellion has erupted, led by those still unhappy with the unity." John and Alara exchanged determined glances, knowing their work was far from finished. John stood immediately, feeling resolute. "We must go and face this rebellion directly," he declared firmly. "They must see our unity firsthand." Alara nodded firmly, determination shining in her eyes. "We will show them our strength together." They set out swiftly, accompanied by a small force of trusted guards. As they approached the troubled region, John felt his heart heavy with concern but strong in resolve. When they arrived, they found the rebellion had caused unrest, disrupting the lives of many innocent citizens. Facing the rebellion leaders, John spoke openly, offering compassion rather than anger. "I understand your fears," John told them sincerely. "Change can be difficult, but unity has made Zelaria stronger. Give us a chance to show you the benefits." Slowly, his sincere words began to break through their resistance. Many rebels lowered their weapons, seeing John's genuine compassion and Alara's unwavering support. The rebellion gradually dispersed, replaced by understanding and newfound trust. Returning home victorious once more, John and Alara felt deeply relieved. Their journey had been challenging yet rewarding, strengthening their bond further. That night, as they rested under the stars again, Alara spoke softly, filled with emotion. "John, I could never have faced these challenges without you." "Nor I without you," John replied gently. "Together, we've proven that unity can overcome even the toughest obstacles." They sat quietly, hand in hand, feeling the deep sense of peace they had earned. Zelaria had indeed changed, stronger and more united than ever before, thanks to their unwavering dedication and love. John knew the future will bring more challenges, but he faced it without fear, confident in the strength of their unity and love. Their bond had transformed Zelaria, creating lasting peace and understanding between two very different worlds. Now, more than ever, he felt ready to continue building this new future, proudly standing beside Queen Alara, their hearts and souls forever connected. Life in the Zelarian palace grew calmer after John's experience in the Cave of Reflections. His sincere vision had reassured the council, even convincing many who once doubted him. Yet, John remained cautious, aware that true acceptance required more than just words and visions. Queen Alara and John spent more time together, openly demonstrating their unity. They planned public events designed to blend human and Zelarian traditions, showing their people that cooperation was possible and beneficial. John particularly enjoyed these times, feeling genuinely connected to both worlds. Prince Liner continued to grow stronger under John's careful attention, laughing and smiling more frequently. John found himself becoming deeply attached to the child, seeing him not merely as the prince, but truly as his own son. This genuine bond became evident to everyone in the palace, further enhancing John's acceptance among the Zelarians. One evening, a grand feast was held to celebrate a successful harvest season. The palace buzzed with excitement as nobles, servants, and visiting dignitaries filled the halls. John and Alara greeted guests warmly, Prince Liner securely held in John's arms. During the celebration, John noticed Lord Kalen observing quietly from the edge of the hall, his expression thoughtful, yet reserved. Deciding it was time to confront any remaining doubts directly, John approached him calmly. "Lord Kalen," John greeted politely, offering a friendly nod. "It's good to see you here." Kalen returned the nod, his tone cautious but respectful. "I must admit, John Carter, you have surprised me. Many here speak highly of you now." "I'm glad," John replied sincerely. "I only hope we can put our past disagreements behind us and work together. Our unity strengthens the Empire." Kalen sighed quietly, his face softening slightly. "I still hold reservations, but I respect what you have done for our people, especially for Prince Liner." John extended his hand warmly. "Then let this be a new beginning, Lord Kalen, for the good of everyone." After a brief pause, Kalen shook John's hand firmly, signaling a turning point. "Agreed, John Carter." Feeling relieved and encouraged, John returned to Alara's side, sharing the news of his reconciliation with Kalen. Alara's face lit up clearly. "Please, you have accomplished something remarkable tonight," she praised softly. Winning Kalen's respect was no small feat. "It was only possible because of your support," John said warmly. "Together we are stronger." The feast continued joyously, filled with laughter, dancing, and storytelling. Humans and Zelarians shared their traditions openly, discovering joy in their differences and similarities alike. John felt proud as he watched the scene unfold, knowing he had helped build a bridge between their worlds. Yet, Just as John began to relax fully, a commotion erupted near the entrance of the hall. Guards rushed forward, blocking an unknown visitor, demanding immediate entry. John and Alara exchanged worried glances, moving quickly toward the disturbance. The visitor, a weary Zilarian from a distant region, knelt quickly upon seeing Queen Alara. "Forgive me, Your Majesty," the visitor began urgently, breathing heavily. "But an urgent crisis requires your immediate attention." Alara nodded swiftly, signaling him to continue. "Speak quickly." "A rare illness has spread rapidly in our northern region," the visitor explained anxiously. "Our healers cannot find a cure. We need help." John immediately stepped forward, determination clear in his eyes. "Alara, let me go. My knowledge of medicine could help them." Alara hesitated briefly, her worry apparent. "It's dangerous, John. This illness sounds severe." John took her hand gently, but firmly. "This is exactly why I'm here, Alara. My purpose is to help, to protect." Seeing the determination in John's eyes, Alara agreed reluctantly. "Be careful, John. Return safely to us." The next morning, John departed swiftly, accompanied by a small team of Zilarian healers and guards. The journey north was challenging, taking them through difficult terrain and unpredictable weather. Upon arrival, John saw firsthand the devastating effects of the illness. Villagers suffered severely, weak and frightened. Working tirelessly, John combined human medical knowledge with Zilarian healing techniques, seeking an effective treatment. Days passed in difficult, tireless labor, each moment spent helping patients, comforting families, and searching for solutions. Finally, John's perseverance paid off. He discovered a combination of human medicine and local herbs that proved effective in combating the illness. Relief quickly spread through the village as more and more people recovered. Gratitude and admiration for John and his team grew immensely. Word of his success reached the palace quickly, bringing immense relief to Alara and the entire Zilarian court. John's heroic efforts further solidified his standing among the Zilarians, even earning respect from those who previously doubted him. Returning to the palace, John was greeted warmly by Alara, who rushed forward to embrace him. "You have done so much for our people," she whispered emotionally. "You continue to amaze me, John." "I promise to protect and help," John replied gently. "This is my family, Alara. These are my people now, too." Together, they walked through the palace halls, feeling a deep sense of pride and accomplishment. John's courage and compassion had finally united Zilarians and humans, proving that together they could overcome any obstacle. That evening, under the clear, star-filled sky, John stood quietly with Alara, watching Prince Liner sleeping peacefully. "Our future is bright, John," Alara whispered, her eyes shining with hope. "Together, we have proven that unity is our greatest strength." John smiled softly, feeling immense gratitude. "I never imagined this life for myself, Alara, but now I can't imagine anything else." Hand in hand, they stood quietly, savoring the peace they had worked so hard to achieve. John knew more challenges would come, but he felt ready to face anything with Alara and Liner by his side. Their love and commitment had transformed not only their lives, but the future of two entire worlds, now bound forever in friendship and unity.